Title: Enkai's Gift, The Tale of the Maasai Child. Part 1. The birth beneath the red moon, on a windswept night in the heart of the Great Rift Valley, under a glowing red moon that painted the plains crimson, a cry pierced the silence. In a humble Enkaji, a circular mud hut, nestled in the heart of a Maasai village, a baby was born. Her name was Naserian, meaning peaceful one. The elders whispered that the red moon was an omen, neither good nor bad, but powerful. The old Laibon, spiritual healer, Mzi Oltoroto, whose beard had grown as white as the acacia blossoms, declared, "This child is Enkai's gift. Watch her. She will walk paths not made for ordinary feet." Naserian's mother, Namayana, was young but wise. Her father, Lenkai, was a respected Moran, a warrior whose spear had never missed. They loved their child fiercely, but even in those early days, they knew she was different. Animals gathered quietly near the Enkajeji when she cried. Birds landed on the roof and sang when she giggled. And when she stared at the moon, it seemed to stare back. Part 2. The Whispering Savannah. As Naserian grew, so did the mysteries around her. By the time she could walk, she wandered far beyond where most toddlers dared to go. She would toddle barefoot across thorny scrub and return without a scratch. The women of the village whispered, "She walks with the wind." One day, her father followed her silently. He watched as she climbed a termite mound and extended her hand toward a gathering of zebras grazing nearby. To his shock, the zebras approached and bowed their heads as if recognizing a queen. He returned home without revealing what he saw. It was a secret he carried like a sacred stone. When Naserian was 5, the village suffered a terrible drought. The riverbeds cracked, the cattle groaned with thirst, and the acacia trees dropped their leaves like tears. Elders called for rain ceremonies. They danced and chanted. Nothing came. But one night, Naserian slipped away from the hut and climbed a high ridge. She spoke to the stars in a language she never learned. By dawn, clouds gathered, and by midday, rain poured down. The river flowed again. The cows bellowed in joy. From that day, the villagers called her Enkai's daughter. Part 3. The Ancestral Trail. At 7, Naserian began to dream. In her dreams, a massive golden lion with wise eyes and a crown of clouds spoke to her. "You must walk the trail of the ancients," it said. "Beyond the plains, beyond the escarpment, you must find the stone that hums." When she woke, she remembered every detail. She told Mzi Oltoroto, who listened carefully and nodded. "There is an old tale," he said. "Before our ancestors wore beads or carried spears, they spoke with stones and stars. The humming stone lies in the forgotten forest, the place where Enkai first spoke to man." Despite her age, the elders agreed. Naserian must go, but not alone. She was given a guardian, a great old elephant named Olperkal, who had wandered near the village and refused to leave since her birth. The villagers took it as another sign. With food, water, and beads blessed by the Laibon, Naserian and Olperkal set off into the unknown. Part 4. Trials of the Forest. The journey was perilous. Naserian and Olperkal crossed dried riverbeds, climbed rocky ridges, and braved dark forests where no birds sang. One night, as they rested under a strangler fig tree, spirits came, silent, glowing figures with hollow eyes. Naserian did not flinch. "What do you seek, child?" asked one spirit. "The stone that hums," she replied. They surrounded her and whispered ancient names. One spirit touched her forehead and showed her a vision, a stone pulsing in the belly of a mountain, hidden beneath roots older than time. In the morning, Naserian told Olperkal the path. They walked for 7 days without speaking. Part 5. The Humming Stone. Finally, they arrived at a clearing filled with mist. In the center stood a black stone, shaped like a heart, glowing faintly. It vibrated gently, and as Naserian touched it, the forest fell silent. A beam of light burst from the sky and enveloped her. Her eyes turned silver. She heard every heartbeat in the forest. The ants, the trees, the sleeping lions miles away. She heard time itself. The stone spoke. You are the voice of balance. The future must listen to the past. She fell asleep, and when she awoke, a necklace of pure obsidian hung from her neck. Olperkal knelt beside her and wrapped her in his trunk. Part 6. Return of the Prophet. Naserian returned to her village after months away. She was no longer just a child. Her eyes glowed slightly in the dark, and her voice carried power. The cattle grew fat. The sick were healed. Marauders who approached the village turned and fled, claiming they saw a silver lion guarding the entrance. But Naserian was not meant to stay. At 10, she gathered the children of the village and began to teach them the language of birds, the paths of stars, and the names of forgotten winds. She became the youngest teacher, the youngest prophet. Mzi Olteroto smiled from his stool. I have seen the future, he said, and it wears beads and speaks with the voice of thunder and rain. Part 7. Enkai's daughter. Years passed, and stories of Naserian spread. Other tribes sent envoys to learn from her. She united enemies. She healed scarred lands. Yet she remained humble, walking barefoot, wrapped in simple red shuka. On her 15th birthday, the golden lion returned in a dream. You have done well, it said, but your journey is not done. One day you will cross beyond the stars to speak with Enkai directly. And one evening, under another red moon, Naserian walked into the horizon, not vanishing, but ascending. The villagers said she turned into a beam of light and joined the stars. To this day, when the wind howls gently through the acacia trees and a baby cries beneath a red moon, the Maasai whisper, "She has returned." Enkai's daughter walks again,